My siblings cut me out of our parents' will, so I exposed their darkest secrets at the reading. My siblings cut me out of our parents' will. After a decade of being their primary caregiver, the one who missed birthdays, postponed promotions, and nursed them through their final days, I got nothing. Meanwhile, my two older siblings, who showed up only when it was convenient, made sure I didn't receive a single penny of our family's considerable estate. But what they didn't know was that I had a different kind of inheritance to deliver, not money, truth, and I dropped it at the one place where they couldn't run or lie, the reading of the will. Welcome back to Narrated by Abby, where we dive into true stories of betrayal, family secrets, and the moments when justice hits hardest. Today's story is about love, loss, and the brutal clarity that often comes when money's involved. If you've ever felt overlooked or betrayed by family, this one's going to hit deep. Hit like and subscribe for more incredible stories, and ring that bell so you never miss an upload. I'm the youngest of three. Growing up, David was the golden child, charming, successful, always praised. Emily was the social one, always organizing parties, volunteering, networking. Me, I was quiet, steady, the one who stayed. When our parents' health began to decline, it wasn't even a discussion. I moved into the family home and became their caregiver. 10 years. I put my career on hold, canceled vacations, lost friends, lost myself a little too. But I did it because I loved them. And because, in those quiet moments, changing bandages, spoon-feeding dinner, Mom would squeeze my hand and whisper, "We'll make sure you're taken care of. You're the only one who never left." David lived out of state. He sent the occasional card. Emily, who lived 20 minutes away, would drop by for half-hour visits, all selfies and sympathy. Then she'd disappear again. Still, I hoped we'd all grieve together when the time came. I hoped wrong. Right after the funeral, they got cagey. Whispers in corners, private calls. One day, I saw a legal envelope in Emily's purse, our parents' lawyer's name printed clearly. When I asked, she gave a rehearsed shrug and said it was about closing accounts. I knew better. I started to feel like a guest in my own home, the one I had helped maintain while they were busy living their lives. The lawyer's office was dimly lit and smelled like old books. I sat across from David and Emily, both dressed like they were attending a press conference, not a will reading. Polished, calm, too calm. The lawyer began. Everything was divided equally between David and Emily. The house, the savings, the investments. My name wasn't mentioned once. I felt cold all over. My stomach dropped, my vision blurred. 10 years of sacrifice erased with a few legal lines. David gave Emily a brief, smug glance. She looked down at her lap, hiding a tiny smile. In that moment, heartbreak turned to fire. They thought they had won. But I had something money couldn't buy. The truth. Over the years, while caring for our parents, I'd been the vault for family secrets. They had confided in me. Half-truths, drunken confessions, things they never wanted getting out. And now, it was time. As the lawyer wrapped up and started handing out folders, I spoke. "Before we go," I said, voice steady, "there's a different kind of inheritance I'd like to share." David shifted. Emily looked annoyed. I pulled out a slim file from my bag. "David, remember freshman year of college, when Dad caught you siphoning money from the family business account to pay off your gambling debt? He bailed you out. Told Mom it was an accounting error. I kept the bank statements, all of them." David's face turned sheet white. I turned to Emily. "And Emily, those business trips to LA and Vegas? The ones you used Mom's credit card for? I called the hotels, booked under your name with one of your married clients. Want the itemized printouts? I brought those too." Emily gasped. "You've gone too far." The lawyer stared, silent. He didn't stop me. I didn't stop there. I reminded them calmly of how they skipped medical meetings, forgot birthdays, and sent generic "hope you're well" texts while I was changing our parents' bedpans. I said everything our parents were too kind or too tired to say. By the end, Emily was sobbing. David was red and trembling. The lawyer stood abruptly, declaring the meeting over. But the room was already broken. News spreads in families, especially when you tear off the masks. Some relatives called me cruel, said I should have stayed quiet. But others, especially the ones who visited during the hard years, called me brave. David and Emily's social circles shrank. Rumors took root. David resigned from a board position to focus on family. Emily stopped posting her polished brunch photos. As for me, I got nothing in the will. But I gained everything else. My peace, my power, my voice. A week later I returned to the house one last time. I stood in the garden, now overgrown, and whispered goodbye. Then I pulled a card from my pocket. It was from Aunt Lydia. Inside, a photo of me and my parents at the dining table, and a note. They were always proud of you, not because of what you gave up, but because of who you became. I smiled. Sometimes the best inheritance is truth, and sometimes the only justice you get is the justice you make. Have you ever experienced a betrayal over inheritance or money, or stood up for yourself in a way that shocked everyone? Tell us your story in the comments below. Like this story if you believe truth matters more than wealth. Subscribe to Narrated by Abby for more true stories of family drama, resilience, and those moments when silence is no longer an option.